Shalom, it's me, Sudden Skye, and welcome back to Shovel Knight. And let's select our file, student Skye, once again. And let's collect us some Dosh right here in this Super Mario 3 inspired world. There are actually some sequences in the game Super Mario 3 where there were ships flying on the overworld hub map sort of location, and those are known as coin ships or money ships or whatever. So yes, Shovel Knight takes that idea and implements them into a gem sort of world, which similar to the Super Mario 3 world location will auto scroll for you, which I know like a lot of people get annoyed with. That being like auto-scrolling locations, like what exactly is pushing me to the right that makes me go right? Like, other than the fact that, like, I mean, game logic, if I stay to the left, obviously the world will push me, or either push me off a cliff or crush me in between a wall, but, you know, what exactly is making me go to the right? Well, anywho, this villager here, he has the face of evil, and he's telling us to watch out for the spikes. As we already know, spikes are instant kill, an idea taken from Mega Man. No matter how high your health is, you will always be killed instantly by the spikes. And there's actually an achievement that you can unlock in I mean, I guess can't really unlock achievements. I guess you could achieve achievements where if you collect enough gold, specifically on top of spikes. Sorry, I've been out of the game for a while, the recording game that is. But if you collect enough gems on top of spikes, you get an achievement. What exactly do you get from collecting all the achievements? Well, I mean, not really much on the Wii U port of the game. Maybe you'll get a trophy in the PS4 version, or PS3, or whatever, what have you, PS something. These enemies, a lot like the enemies in Zelda 2, you know, the one with that's like basically a sphere with a skull inside of it. Those bounce around for a while, and they have I wouldn't say they have that much health in this game, but when I played Zelda 2, the Return of Link, those had quite a lot of health. You could easily like destroy them with the down stab attack. I find that being the best strategy in both games. And we are taking a visit into the town now that we have collected all this gold to get this weapon from this merchant, the Chester. And this is the first time me actually reading his name aloud. I think it's a play on words on the fact that he's a jester, and you find him inside of the chest. And what we have here is the Chaos Sphere, which lets us shoot out a green sphere, and it bounces around, and hopefully it hits your enemies. That comes in handy every once in a while. And this lady is gonna dance for us, because we defeated the Spectre Knight. Thank you very much, dancer lady. It's very much appreciated, your performance. You know, that's one of the things I love about this game. I'm sure I've said this before, but, you know, minor quirks like that are what makes this game such a good game. It's just so good. I loves it. But anywho, the Chaos Sphere, I don't use that weapon as much as I probably should. I mean, it's very useful, but you know, I mean, It's very unpractical in my eyes. And now we take on the token water level of this NES-inspired game. We're taking on Treasure Knight. And he must have a lot of treasure, right? I love these crab-type enemies because they remind me a lot of the enemy from Super Metroid, which I don't think is intentional, but, you know, maybe it was intentional. Who knows? But if you hit them around, they go in a diagonal path for quite a short time, but, you know, still fun. Okay, let's leave those things alone. We just murdered those crabs and played around with their house. I just feel sort of bad about doing so. Speaking of which, I should probably start talking about my main man Treasure Knight here. A loner by nature, he rules the ocean as a captain of the Iron Whale, a prototype underwater vessel. With his retractable anchor cannon and impermeable diving suit, he is at home on the seafloor, where he spends most of his days hunting down the ancient relics. Just keep your hands off his hard-earned lucre, or lucre, or whatever, L-U-C-R-E, however you pronounce that word. Or you'll find yourself floating home. Ooh, he's gonna kill you. And his design looks a lot like well, I haven't played this series myself, but if BioShock, I think his name is the Big Daddy, if you will. He looks a lot like that character. BioShock actually is a series that I've been planning to get into ever since I saw how good Infinite looked. Even though I don't know if people disliked it or not. Maybe it had its quirks that people didn't like, but I mean, if anyone, I don't know, recommends it, I guess all the power to you, all the power to me. But Treasure Knight stage being an underwater level, it's actually not that bad compared to other games' underwater levels. All the water does to you is increase your jumping height, but that comes with a setback. There are a lot of ceilings in this stage with on top of them, and you're gonna want to have good judgment with your jumping height to, I guess, stop yourself from hitting the spikes. But there aren't that many situations like that occur. But ooh, wiggly, 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 tentacles. Actually, one of my main strifes that I have with water levels is I hate fighting fish in games. Like they're basically like if this stage wasn't underwater and these were just like enemies being there, they might as well be just like flying enemies. And, you know, those are just annoying. Man. And that's just me trying to get the achievement of collecting jewelry on top of spikes. I think this is one of the only ways that you would be able to go about doing it is by using the invincibility band thing to turn yourself invincible for a few seconds. There's actually an iCore, and by iCore I mean like the grail that you get from the shop, which you can fill from at the trout pool. One of the things that you can fill your iCore with at the trout pool is an invincibility spell that basically lets you become invincible for as long as 10 seconds, really. And here we have an anglerfish. We can't really damage him when he's chasing us. But now we can damage his light bulb here by stabbing it with your basic shovel blade attack. forward. You can't damage it from the down stab above. But I'm always, I mean, anglerfish are like very terrifying. Just always at the bottom of the sea all day. So yeah, I guess you don't really have to focus on how you look under there, but I mean, when it's brought into light, it's just downright terrifying. But now we can look into the treasure chest and we find a Chester. How was he inside of there? I guess we'll never know. This, the throwing anchor. Another weapon that I don't use all that often. But it much has like it has an arc just like the I guess it's the axe in Castlevania. I think that's one of the items there. Yeah, I don't get any use out of this item. I quickly switched to my invincibility band because, you know, a lot more useful than an attack that you have to aim so much for. Oh, and look how little my health is right here. Will I die? Will I make it to the Treasure Knight? Find out on the next episode of Shovel Knight. The verdict is... No. There we go. Yep. This is what happens when you die in Shovel Knight. You lose about, I don't know, like, is it 30% of your earnings, or is it like 20%, 25%? Around that ballpark. But that money will remain flying in those bags there until you go back to where it was and collect your dosh. So you can continue throughout the game. Which, in that sense, this game is very forgiving in it lets you collect back your money. But if you die before collecting that money is, and there's no way of getting it back, and you lose another amount of money, even if you do die before getting it back. So you know, just don't die. Don't get too cocky with the checkpoints. You don't want to destroy them too often. And you'll be fine. And Treasure Knight stage theme, actually not one of my favorites, I gotta say. I know, I guess, I mean, I wouldn't rank this song as one of the best. Yeah, I'd have to say... I mean, sorry for anyone who actually likes this song, but out of all the songs in Shovel Knight, I don't think I would put this in my top 10. Yeah. Sorry. But there is a stage coming up that I will say is one of my favorites. A very soothing tune, to say, and I can't wait to have you guys hear that. But these anchors, a new stage obstacle, they will fall the closer you get to it. And you have to use these as platforms. You gotta maneuver yourself in order to get past that area. And don't let yourself fall with the anchor, because you'll die that way, as you've seen me make that mistake. This part very, very annoying. You gotta dodge these balls and at the same time as fighting that Mighty Duck type enemy. I should probably find out what the actual name of those guys are. Speaking of which, I know in the Mega Man games there are constantly water levels, and you'll see air bubbles come out of Mega Man's mouth, so it shows that he is breathing. And people will make the argument, well, if he's breathing, then how come he's not running out of breath like Sonic? I mean, Sonic, he has the whole countdown when he can't breathe. And I'll defend that case because Mega Man is a robot, so he doesn't really need air. I can't defend Shovel Knight here. I mean, he is human, I think. Actually, is Shovel Knight human? I mean, he has feelings, so I guess he's like living. I guess we'll never know. And we have this little sequence here that actually reminds me a lot of the Mega Man series. Quite a lot. Because it had a little area before every boss. And here we have Treasure Knight laying claim to the ocean for himself. Yep, that's pretty much the greediest thing that you can do. Just claim the ocean. The winner take all. You would say that, wouldn't you say, Treasure Knight? Well, anywho, in this boss fight, Treasure Knight will use his anchor buster and to try to crash his anchor into us a lot of the time, and he'll crash it into the floor, and you know, he'll crash it every which way. It doesn't matter. He wants to murder us. He wants to kill us for our gold. We're not gonna let him have it. Do a lot of down stabs on this guy. I wouldn't want to. You don't want to risk doing a regular shovel blade side attack on this guy. Just play it safe. And that is the end of Treasure Knight. And that is the end of this part. See you guys in the next part.